Okay, kiddos, this is round 3. I've done this 3 times. Hopefully, third time's a charm. Okay. So, the first thing I want you to pay attention to is your extended essay. First of all, make sure that you have removed all identifying information from the EE. I want you to make sure that you have a title page. Make sure that you have a title. That should be like a short phrase like testing aspirin or planes in Vietnam, whatever, short phrase. Then your full research questions stated in full. Then your subject, history, chemistry, whatever it is, English, whatever. If you're doing a language A or language B, you need to have a category. And that is category 1, 2, or 3. Talk to your supervisors if you're confused about that. And then you should also have word count on that page. Okay? Now, next thing after the title page, you should have a table of contents. Now, on that table of contents, your headings should match throughout the paper. So if you say that you're talking about introduction on page 2, you need to make sure that it's labeled introduction on page 2. If you start your conclusion on page 15, it needs to say conclusion on page 15. So make sure that those are labeled because introduction and conclusion are actually assessed by IB. So you want to make sure you've got those clearly labeled. Also, works cited. Anything that's been cited in the paper needs to be cited in the works cited. So make sure everything matches up. Now, we're going to look particularly at the TOK essay first. So making sure you've removed all the identification, that you have put the prescribed title as it was stated by IB, and you're also going to need to know the number of the IB prescribed title, so I'll show you that in a second. Make sure you've got your page numbers on there, your word count, your works cited. This is only as needed, but if you have cited something, go ahead and cite it on a works cited. Okay, make sure that you're not taking any chances there. So I'm going to go to Meg's TOK essay. Actually, let's go to her EE first. Okay. So, as you can see, on her EE, she has her page numbers, that's good, but she's going to need to get rid of this, okay? You don't want any identifying information. She does have a title, Women in Drama, an analysis of the way that playwrights use characters to reflect society. Yours doesn't have to be that long. It could be just Women in Drama. Then your research question. Hers is fine as it is, but just don't feel like yours has to be that long. Just know you need a title and a research question. Then your word count and your subject. And like I said, for language A and language B, that needs to have a category. Okay. The next thing is her table of contents. So notice she's got introduction, page 3, era of modernism, page 4. Let's look and see if that matches up. So, page 3, introduction. Page 4, era of modernism. So see how these headings match what's in her table of contents. Now, the next thing I want you to pay attention to is in your introduction. You have to have your research question. Now, I would suggest actually putting it in bold so that there's no question. Or saying, this leads me to the research question. to make sure that the examiner knows exactly what the research question is, and it should also match what's on the title page. So this is actually assessed. So you want to make sure that whatever's here is also in the introduction. I like to also see it in the conclusion. That is not required by IB, but I think it's helpful. So make sure that you've got it on the title page and in the introduction. Okay, and then finally, as you come to the end, make sure that you have identified your conclusion as well. Okay, because they're looking for an introduction and conclusion, so make sure they're labeled. That's important. That way they can judge that without any question about where it is. And then finally, your works cited, make sure it's in alphabetical order and formatted correctly using Purdue OWL. Make sure it's all good. You could put a word count here at the end, but because you've put it on the title page, it's not necessary, but normally that's where your word count will go. So if you want to put it there too, that's fine, but don't worry about it. Okay, now let's look at the next. So the TOK essay is a little different. It's not as lengthy. Again, make sure that you have removed all identifying information. Make sure that your prescribed title is exactly as it's stated by IB, and I'm going to show you where you can find that, and because it is going to ask you for which title did you write about, number 1 through 6, and I'm going to show you how to find that. Also, make sure you've got page numbers, make sure you have a word count at the end, and works cited if needed. Now, I think it's better to be safe than sorry. If you've consulted anything, go ahead and cite it. I think, it's just better to be, cautious. So let's look at Meg's TOK essay. Give me just a second to get to it. Obviously, my Turnitin looks a lot different than yours because I have a lot more classes. And while I'm doing this, just a little hint for the future. Don't ever upload something to an assignment that is not the assignment you're supposed to be uploading it to, because that's going to make you have a 100% match. I've had a few people do that, so be careful about that. Just only upload it in the assignment box that you're given. Okay, so you notice right here, she's got the prescribed title exactly as it's stated. Make sure you do that. You might even put it in bold, but that is your title. Prescribed title is your title. All right. Then make sure you've got page numbers. She's missing some page numbers, so make sure that's there. And finally, this one, because it doesn't have a title page, it's got to have a word count. So make sure you put the word count at the end, and then if you need to have a works cited, that would go on the last page. All right. Now, let me show you a couple more things. In terms of finding the prescribed title you should be writing about, go to TOK and just, click on your paper. I'll go to Meg's. If you click on Edit TOK Prescribed Title, you can see the list. And this is the same order as IB has put it out. So hers has 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, suspension of disbelief is Title 4. It's going to ask you that when you upload, so you need to know that, and you're going to need to know the number of words in your essay. So those are a couple of things you need to know before you upload. Also, the let's look at EE for a second. So again, I'm going to look at Meg, and y'all have been using the planning in progress form, and that's where you've written your 3 reflections, which add up to 500 words. So you might want to double check that. And then y'all don't see this, but we do. So we're going to put our supervisor comments here and how many hours we spent with you. And so this whole document, this is also due on March 15th. So this is why it's really important that you get this done. Meg's in good shape. I just need to fill mine out. I have it written in hand, but I just haven't typed it in. So you're going to, we are, not you, we're going to save this as a PDF and upload it to IB and IBIS. So, you know, this is also due by March 15th. So getting those Viva Voces, this 3rd reflection in, is really, really important. You also want to make sure on your TOK essays that you have also gotten in, sorry, also on that planning in progress, you want to make sure that you've gotten your 3 interactions in. And again, I'll read your paper and I'll write my comments and upload those by March 15th. So all of this is on a time frame, so it's really important that you're following directions, making sure you're paying attention to the details. If you have any questions, don't upload. You know, don't submit it. Come and see me first. I can pull it up and we'll look at it together. But we do want to get those all uploaded before Friday because the teacher deadline is Friday. And then we're going to make sure that Miss Thomas has plenty of time to verify everything next week. Okay? Y'all are the best, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.